Good evening. Welcome again to the Expert Talks being conducted as part of the Butterfly and Bee Festival and Awareness Week of 2023. The recordings of the previous year's Expert Talks are available for viewing on the YouTube channel of the Bangalore Butterfly Club. Today is the second of four Expert Talks for this year. Yesterday, we had a talk by Dr. Krishnamekh Kunte on the monitoring of butterflies for ecology and conservation. Today's expert talk is about another group of fascinating insects, the bees. And to talk about them, we have our speaker for today, Apoorva BV, who is going to tell us about urban beekeeping and management. Being a beekeeper for the past 15 years, Apoorva has many experiences and roles to his credit. He is the chairman of the Hive Bangalore, co-founder and director of HoneyDay Bee Farms Pvt.Ltd, and the proprietor of Sridhar Industries. He is also the empanelled supplier of beekeeping units for the Government of Karnataka. He is a professional training associate of Khadi and Village Industries Commission for the Government of India. A speaker at many agricultural universities, he has given talks for All India radio programs and for the TEDx events as well. He has received several awards, including those for Best Urban Farmer, Award for Achievement in Agricultural Field, Award for Achievement in Beekeeping, as well as the Deccan Herald Change Maker Award in 2023. The HoneyDay Bee Farm, of which he is the co-founder and director, is presently focused on manufacturing beekeeping equipment, supplying NUC bee colonies, and training all sections of society about beekeeping. Having a very unique model to work with farmer society based on principles of social entrepreneurship, an ecosystem is created for beekeeping activity by capacity building projects, where farmers will be skilled and few micro entrepreneurs will be created in the potential rural areas. Technical and marketing assistance to farmers, planters, tribal communities, and hobbies also being provided. They sell honey, buying back from the farmers from these projects and from other small bee farmers. Along with their own production of honey, they collect 22 varieties of honey from across India. Through the non-profit entity of the Hive, of which Apoorva is the chairman, people are being educated about the vital existence of bees in the urban habitat, whenever there will be bee-human conflict. They are a stakeholder in the sector also by advocacy in conservation activities of native bees. The Hive is referred and invited to provide useful input by NABARD, the Dairy Development Board, Khadi and Village Industries Commission, the Department of Horticulture, and the Forest Department. With a decade-long experience, they are presently working in Karnataka, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra, and planning at Jammu and Kashmir with the same models being replicated. Today, Apoorva is here with us as part of the Butterfly and Bee Festival to share his expert knowledge and to talk to us about urban beekeeping and management. Before we start today, I request all the viewers to keep yourself muted and keep your videos off during the talk. If you have any questions, they can be posted in the chat and the speaker can address them at the end of the talk. So have a nice talk, and thank you, Apoorva, for being here with us to give us this talk. Over to you.
Priya, Apoorva is now having some technical difficulty. He is going to join in a minute. To just keep it engaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. As you are aware, we are having, like I said, we are having the second talk today. Now, these talks have been going on for the past couple of years, and we've had many talks on butterflies, bees, and many things, many topics about butterflies itself by different people and experts in the field. And these talks have been recorded of the past years also, and they have been put on the YouTube channel. So please do go and view them. And if you've attended them before, you can review them whenever you want on the YouTube channel of the Bangalore Butterfly Club. And let me tell you a little about the Bangalore Butterfly Club also. They are a group of people who are formed by 4 people, Mr. Ashok Sen Gupta, Rohit Girotra, Hanish KM, and Nitin Ravikantachari. And they had started this as the Bangalore Butterfly Club, and we have been conducting different activities, especially even counting of butterflies, which is being done regularly at a few places, including the Durasenpalia Forest Reserve, or which is also called as the JP Nagar Forest Reserve Forest, sorry. And these counts are being done every fortnightly, and this is being done from the past more than 10 years. And these counts are going into the records, which can be used for research to, kind of monitor also uh, how the butterfly population has been changing over the years and over the weeks and over the seasons during the year also. So these counts have been being continuously monitored every fortnight for the past so many years. Similarly, we are also doing surveys in the another place called the Kalkare Forest also. And other than this, or the Bangalore Butterfly Club has been conducting walks for several people over the past so many years, where they can come and join on the walks and see the butterflies, identify them, and learn more about them. So if you have any other questions about us, okay, I think our speaker is ready. So we will switch over to him and not waste any more time and start today's talk. Over to you, Apoorva.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Priya. Sorry, there was a crash in my laptop, too many things in the desktop on all those things. So am I audible clearly?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you so much. So this is second time I am appearing on the Bee Talk, and congratulations on your seventh consecutive event. And today's topic for me is about urban beekeeping. So I have been doing the promotion and also the conservation activity in Bangalore, urban Bangalore, since 2014. So regarding conservation of bees in urban space, urban beekeeping is playing a very crucial role for conserving the bees which we can domesticate, because we have bees which cannot be domesticated, but there are bees which can be domesticated. So I'm going to go through the presentation now. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you another introduction for the new people who are into this. So we are an organization called the Hive Trust. We have been working since 2011, and we are working on training in beekeeping for tribal, rural, and also urban people. So we are functioning in different districts and also different states in India. And one of the advocacy and conservation activity we are doing on behalf of the Hive Trust is bee sensitization talks and also urban beekeeping. So bee sensitization talks is for the bees which cannot be domesticated. Generally, what we believe is that more we share knowledge about these pollinators, more conservation can happen, because when it comes to bees, fear will dominate. Now, that is the only thing people know about bees, is that they are dangerous, they sting, and they can attack. And they have heard enough and read enough in newspapers and blogs and many other places. But there are other, dimensions and understanding about bees which will have to be translated in a very simple and better way to common people. So that is what we are doing through bee sensitization. So we are working with tribals since 2016, and one of the project we have done is at Dantewada in Chhattisgarh. That is a capacity building program. We engaged with 80 tribal communities. So we gave them a way, a method of beekeeping. It's called scientific beekeeping, and they have produced honey, and we are connected to forest equipment and training people, especially people who are living in the forest, which will be in the fringes of forests. So we are providing all the beekeeping equipment, training, and also the colonies. So one of the project we have done in the Cook, which happened, the landslides happened in 2018. We finalized few farmers along with the NGO, the Kinder Trust from Kunur, and then we gave uh, scientific beekeeping knowledge to the people who are doing traditionally. Because of that, they have harvested a quantity of honey and also bags. So scientific input for whatever they already have the knowledge. So they got to monetize this idea and they are doing it sustainably also. So every year they are able to harvest. So when it comes to bees, we know only about honey bees, and there are 20,000 bee species in the world. And in India, we have four species of honeybees, and 719 species of bees are there. Out of that, only four species are honeybees, which are social bees. So when we talk about urban beekeeping, we we talk only about two species. So Apis dorsata cannot be domesticated, and they can go up to 9 kilometer radius, and their behavior is different, and it cannot be domesticated. And Apis florea, though it is very docile, but still we cannot domesticate it. And they are called as dwarf bees, and they can go up to 500 meters to 1 kilometer radius again. And Apis cerana indica is a species where we are working on urban. So in urban areas, later on I can show you some of the photos where these bees are struggling to find a nesting habitat in the urban space. So, and also these stingless bees, there are bees which are stingless. So these bees can also be uh, practiced as a urban beekeeping initiative. And these bees are in already in plenty in Bangalore. I can show you how you can find them also later. So this is a Maepis mellifera which was brought to India in 1965. I don't suggest this species for urban beekeeping because this species is practiced by only by commercial beekeepers, which will be done in a very large scale. Only people who are looking into large scale honey production can go with this Apis mellifera, but it cannot be for hobbies and the people who are interested to do beekeeping sustainably. So this is not species to advise. So in a bee colony, you find three types of bees. One is a worker bee, which takes care of everything, all the roles and responsibilities. So when I'm talking about this, I will be talking about Apis cerana in specific, because that is the one species where we are working on the urban beekeeping. So worker bees will take care of everything, even the inventory management inside, how much storage is there and how much is available outside, and in a daily basis, how much of food is coming inside the colony. So everything will be checked and thoroughly. So depending on how much of food is available from the outside and inside, uh, the worker bees will communicate queen to lay eggs, and also according to the nurse bees available to nurse larvae, uh, worker bees. So, and worker bees are responsible to go out and bring in food, nectar, pollen, and even water. And they are guard bees also. They sit in the entrance of the hive. They guard the bees. They maintain the temperature. The brooding temperature will have to be maintained so that the brood will be healthy and alive. And they are capable of producing wax also.
Welcome.
That is how you can see all the hexagon wax in the honeycomb. So they are everything. In a way, they are everything. They are also decision makers, because only workers will make the queen to lay more eggs, less eggs, or stop laying eggs. So it is the workers' decision, not the queen's. So the drones are male bees, and male bees in a beehive, bee colony, they don't work. So drones are like a reserve. So they are required to mate with a virgin queen in case of a swarm, in case of a division, in case of a old queen dying and new queen emerging. So there will be requirement for drones because all the worker bees are females and they are barren females. They cannot lay any fertile egg. So that's why drones are required for, say, emergency. So they are a reserve, and they they will be like 10% of the total colony, the population. So 90% will be the worker bees, and the drones have a different way of living because they don't belong to one colony. They can go to other colonies also. They are allowed. If food is in plenty inside and available outside, so they will allow drones to live even in their born hive also. So if the food is in scarcity, the worker bees will corner all the drones and they will kill them. So beekeepers, what we do is, in the end of nectar flow season, in the bottom floor, we can see a lot of dead drones. So then we uh, conclude that the nectar flow season of this year or in this season is over. So that is why worker bees have killed the drones, and from now onwards, the starvation period starts. Whatever they have stored, they will have to consume. So drones will mate with the queen, and the successful mating drones which will be successful in mating, will die because their genital organ will be broken in the process of successful mating with the virgin queen. And when it comes to queen, it could be a colony of only 400 worker bees or 40,000 worker bees or even more worker bees. There will be only one queen. So the queen is capable of laying more than 500 to, they say, 1,000 eggs per day. So the fertility, agility, and even the lifespan, the lifespan is about 2 to 3 years. So for an insect, the 2 to 3 years is a lot. We know the queen termite can live up to 50 years. So that is something really different. But in here, the queen bee can live up to 2 to 3 years, whereas worker bees will die within 3 months. So this is the difference. Now, because the queen consumes different diet. So her diet is royal jelly. So I'll explain about that. So this is the life cycle of the worker bee. So the queen will lay eggs, and within 3 days it will become larva, and within 11th day it will become pupa, and 21st day it will become adult. So after becoming adult, they will be allocated to different labors, different work, depending on their age. Say first 3 days they will spend only on cleaning the cells, and after that they will start to feed the younger larva and the older larva, and then they will become, you know, producer of wax. They will become guard bees. They will become they're taking, queen bee caretakers, and they will become foragers in the end. So for each and every organizational in this organizational structure, the distribution of labor depends on its age and the development, the physical morphology, whatever they develop themselves for. For example, the royal jelly will be secreted to feed the queen. It's a queen's food. It will be secreted, and the secretion will happen from the gland which will be present in the worker bee's head. So until and unless they develop that kind of gland, they will not be allocated to do that job. So in a way, the distribution of labor is dependent on the capacity and their skill, their development. So first 21 days is for becoming adult. Next 21 days will be performed inside the bee colony. They will not go outside. They will perform inside the bee colony by whatever can be done inside the colony: feeding, taking care of the temperature, producing wax, and getting the food which are brought by the worker bees, the foragers, and keeping it in the right places, ripening the nectar into honey. So many things are there which can be uh, you know performed inside the colony. They will do it for that 21 days, and the next 21 days will be spent on becoming foragers. They will go, they will collect nectar, pollen, and water. So from nectar, they source all the carbohydrates, sugars. And with the pollen, they get all the protein in the form of amino acids. And in water, they get salts and minerals. So it's a complete diet for the bees. So whenever they cannot source the salts, especially from water. Many people might have already observed that they will come and sit on your hand or on your forehead, and they will be pricking. They will be collecting the salts from sweat. And many times, people who are in the villages, they have observed just outside the cow shed, they will see a lot of bees coming and collecting salts from the cow's urine also. So they know where to go and where to collect whatever they require. It is only for themselves. They will not deposit as a honey. It is only for the nutrition, whatever they require. This is about the royal jelly. When we lift frame, in a urban beekeeping, you require a beehive box. So that will be made by the wooden material, and there will be frames. So each frame will have the comb like this. So when you lift the comb or the frame, you will see all these cells. So by looking at the cells itself, you can observe what kind of development is happening in the colony. So by the pupa cells. So the flat cells are all worker cells, and the bulged cell will be the drone cell. And only in the corner you can see the queen cell, and queen cells will be seen only in a particular season, uh, between October to January. Only in case of the queen's death or some accidental death of the queen, then only you can see the emergency queen cell in the off season, no, not in the division season. It will be seen in the other seasons. So queen cells will be in the corner because queen is longer and she will have to be developed in a very different way. So they choose only the corner cells to make the queen cells. So the beekeepers, when they lift, they can get to know what is happening in the colony. They also see the egg laying by the queen, because within 2 to 3 days the egg will be turned into larva. So that means when we observe the egg, so that will be only 1 or 2 days. So uh, that means queen is active. and the larvae and the larvae attenders and the way uh, they developed in the last inspection and this inspection. And once in a week, we check the colonies. So we will not be checking the colonies on a daily basis. We will check only once in a week or probably once in 10 days. So why a week or why 10 days? It's because their life cycle is 21 days. So what we do is within 21 days, we will have to check twice at least so that we can know what they are planning. Are they planning to stay? Are they planning to make honey? Are they planning to divide the colony? Are they planning to, run away? I mean, abandon and go. That is called desertion. So for them, it is a migration. So all these indigenous bees, whatever indigenous social bees, whatever we have, they are migratory in nature. They are not going to stay there forever. Even the rock bees also. The people will call pest control companies even when it is just a migratory period. Sometimes they will go and sit on particular place only for 2 to 3 days, and they will start their migration because they cannot fly like migratory birds. They will go and sit somewhere, regain energy, and then again they will fly. So the people will panic and they will call pest control companies, and pest control companies will visit within some hours and they will kill them. So a lot of things are happening like this. So, so for a beginner, locating the queen will be a problem because you don't have a trained eye like whatever beekeeping we are doing. Say, I'm doing beekeeping since 15 years, so I know how to search the queen with the background of her shape and her movement. I know something is recorded. So I'll search the queen. Now, sometimes the colony size will be like 15,000 to 20,000 bees also. So within 15,000 to 20,000 bees, when we are about to divide the colony, we will have to search the queen. So we beekeepers have that eye and trained eye, so we search it. And for the beginner, it will be a problem. But what we say is you don't have to search the queen, you search eggs. That's it. So queen is the only one who can lay eggs. Workers cannot lay eggs. So that is simple. So that is how we uh, teach the beginners. So now you can see the queen in the middle, and workers are away. So it is very easy to see. So when you see something like this, you will be little, nervous. When you lift the frame, you'll be little nervous, and you will start to worry that queen is not there. But you don't have to worry at all when you lift the frame like this, because from left to right, if you see, it is all pupa cells. Almost 90% of the cells are pupa cells. So only a queen right colony. So there are two types of colonies, queen right and the queen less. So only the queen right colony can make the brood like this. So you don't have to worry about it. So but whenever you inspect your colony, just try to locate the queen. Once you start looking from one frame to another frame, you just have to finish it within 15 to 20 minutes. Don't keep the hive open for more than 20 minutes. Otherwise, bees get little bit agitated. So that's why we say within 15 to 20 minutes, you finish your the whole inspection. And in this inspection, if you find the queen, will be good. Or otherwise, don't worry. Just look at the eggs. Just keep the frames back to their slots. And we should not change the order of the frames also, because queen, when she starts laying eggs and also when she starts releasing her pheromone, queens have pheromones, and that is the pheromone from where they communicate that she's alive, and that is when the colony will be in the order, in an order. Otherwise, if the queen dies and the workers cannot receive queen's pheromone for more than few hours, they will assume that queen is dead. So that's why we should not be changing the order. This will change their decision also. For a week, queen will also stop laying eggs, and workers will also be disturbed. So we have to get back the frames at the right order. The order, the same order where we have it. So in Karnataka, we have two subspecies of Serrana. One is a plain Serrana where you can see this plain Serrana, which is not so dark in the stripes. In this Serrana, you can see dark stripes. So, and you can see the queen also here. So the queen is black. You can see the black queen here. So this is a Bangalore's native bee. Bangalore native bees are like this. We call it as black Serrana and the yellow Serrana, or the plain Serrana, or the hill Serrana. You can call it anything like that. So this is the species what we are finding in Bangalore, and we have rescued so many colonies which are the where they have gotten into the cavities what we have provided artificially. So this will be a kind of a beekeeping calendar for urban beekeepers. March to May, you can harvest honey only when you have trees around, mature trees around. But what we are seeing in Bangalore is more honey can be harvested between September to January. So June to August will anyway it will be monsoon. Then you have to feed. I'll tell you how to feed also. And January, February will be kind of a lean period because the leaves will be fallen and the weed flora and the wild plants will be drying up. So that is when you may have to feed again. So, but this calendar may not suit everyone because it depends on your area of plantation, farm, or the trees, wild trees, or the plantation trees. It depends on that. So for anyone, all flowers are equal, and we think all flowers are beneficial for pollinators. But actually, all flowers are not so much beneficial for the bees. It will be beneficial for themselves, for the flowers and the plants, but it will not be so much beneficial for the honeybees because they cannot collect much nectar from many flowers. So they have preferences for collecting more quantity of nectar and pollen. So that is when the harvesting comes. They may survive with a limited whatever is available, but to store honey, they require particular variety of flowers blossom. Especially in Bangalore, we see eucalyptus, we see sessile joyweed, we see wild tulsi. So that is when we get honey. And in March to May, we get to see pongemia and jamun. Uh, uh, so all those trees are there, which will blossom. So that is when we see. So not all plants, where they say, I have so much of hibiscus, but bees are not making honey. I have so much of marigold, bees are not making honey. Honey cannot be stored uh, and collected in such a way by these kind of ornamental flowers. So this is how we feed. We keep a bowl inside the beehive. We open the top cover. We keep inside it, and we pour sugar solution or honey itself, and then we keep dry leaves and sticks like this so that they should not be droning. They should not drone because whatever we are providing it is highly sticky and viscous, so they should not drown themselves. So that's why we keep this perching kind of material, and they will sit and consume. So 200 to 300 grams of solution per colony, and 1:1 should be there when you are feeding sucrose, sugar and water solution. Once or twice a week, depending on the season and the cloudy weather, and is it if it is like cyclone, complete 1 or 2 weeks of cyclone, then you will have to feed twice a week. So you can regulate also according to their requirement. So this will have to be done in the off season. What happens if you don't feed? They will migrate. They will not die. They will migrate from your bee box. They will go and they will start somewhere. So they are not going to die if you are not going to feed. So if you want to retain them in your column in your box, then you will have to feed them. And it should be done only in the evening, not in the daytime. Only in the evening, say after 5 or 6 in the evening, you can do it. So how we decide whether to feed them or not? So when we lift the frame, you can see two colors. On the top, you can see white capping, and 70% below, you can see yellow capping. Yellow capping are the pupa. And the top 30% is a storage of honey. This is a uh, brood brood chambers frame, brood frame. So from these frames, we don't harvest. We harvest honey only in the super frame, which will be kept above this brood chamber. And there they make only honey, and here they make only brood and little bit of storage for themselves. So when you see all the frames like this, you don't feed. So you feed when you see thing like this, top 30% is empty, then that is when you will have to start feeding. But what I will advise is you don't have to wait till they completely empty their storage. So whenever they start to puncture these not moving. Okay. Whenever you see uh, the white capping is being punctured and they are consuming, then only you can start feeding them. You don't have to wait till here. So what we do is we do the inspection chart and we number the box and we take the readings kind of thing. If nectar is stored, yes, it is stored. Pollen is stored, yes, it is stored. And the number of bees which are carrying the pollen bag will be counted per minute. And the bees on combs, how many bees are covered in there, because there will be 8 frames in the box, in the bee box. So the technically we should not be calling it as a box, we should be calling it as a hive. So in a hive, there will be 8 frames. So out of 8 frames, how many frames are totally covered by bees? So that will be the strength of the colony. And open brood means egg larva stage. And closed brood means the pupa stage. Queen, you're able to find and locate the queen. Yes, drones are less or more. And remarks. This is how we keep the track of the colony, but it is not really necessary that you do it very complicatedly. You can do it very simple, in a very simple way. Uh, since we have more number of colonies in our apiaries, we will have to keep track on all of these. So this is a magnified image of egg, larva, and pupa. So to find eggs, you may have to have a little good eye, but you don't have to worry much, as I told you. Uh, so you can have a magnifying glass also to find the egg. They are very small, uh, and it can be found because since 2014, I have been teaching beekeeping to urban people, and they are doing very fine job. And let me tell you, they have harvested more honey than the farmers, because farmers will expect a lot of things from the colony and they expect very soon also sometimes without gaining any knowledge and skills. But hobbies are performing really better because they spend time with the bee colony, and also they enjoy whatever they are doing. So sometimes whatever they address, whatever problems come, they address it in a quicker way and efficient way. So that is why the colonies are performing better also. So these are all the predators, ants, lizards, hornets. Bears and monkeys are not a problem for urban beekeepers. Um, uh, Even humans are not a problem. So only in the villages and farms and plantations you may have to see all these things. Hornets, not much of hornets problem when if I have to refer in urban space. Yes, they do. They are existing along with bees, and they are like a natural check of population for the bees. So in the monsoon time, they come, they do a lot of damages. So along with a beehive, one beehive, we give a small queen gate. So if you put the queen gate in the entrance of the hive, only workers can come and go, and hornets cannot enter the beehive. So there you are protecting and increasing the defense of the beehive. So lizards, sometimes if the colonies are getting smaller, because colonies will grow in a nectar flow season and they become lesser also. So that is when ants, lizards, and everything will attack. So for everything, there is a solution. But hornets, they if they are more and your colony is smaller, then you will have to worry, and you will have to be vigilant, and you will have to protect the hive from the hornets by keeping hornets away. But I have not seen much of the problem in the urban space. So wax moth is a pest for the beekeeping. They get inside the colony in the evening and they lay eggs in the bottom floor of the beehive. There they emerge as a larva and they start to eat abandoned combs. Because as I told you, once they grow to full extent, all 8 frames, and they come back to the 4 to 5 frames also. So the remaining combs which are not occupied by the bees, these pests will start to eat. So what we do is we cut the combs or the extra combs which are not covered by the bees and keep the bottom floor clean. So these are all the 2 steps we take for the wax moth. So this is how the abandoned comb looks. Very few bees will be there sporadically spread. So we cut the whole comb if we find something like this, and you can make wax out of it. And in the next season, when the new nectar flow starts, they will build the fresh white new combs. So this is a viral disease, and 90% of the colonies are immune to this. You can see dead brood. That is the symptom. And for this also, it's not a problem. We have not witnessed any problem with this. It's a microbial infection. So the pesticide and the herbicide is a problem in the agricultural space, but here also people are fumigating for mosquitoes, and if you are a terrace gardener, if you are using any pesticide, then you will have to be a little careful when you want to keep the bees. So close the beehive entrance, and if you really want to spray, you can spray, but use organic alternatives. That is my. So the pollination can be a very good benefit for the terrace gardeners, kitchen gardeners, because bees are excellent pollinators. As you know, they they take care of larger extent of pollination. Whatever is happening on Earth, it is taken care by the bees. So, you can see the sunflower, effect of pollination on sunflower. So the weight increases, the number of seed increases, and even the oil content increases when the bee pollination happens at the right time and with a good ratio. Even the size of the vegetables will be very good. So what you get from the urban beekeeping is you can get honey enough for your family. If you are a honey consumer, you can get honey. If you are not consuming honey, you can still do beekeeping, provide habitat for the bees. So bee wax can also be harvested and bee colonies, because once in a year you can divide the colony and you can gift it to anyone who who is your friend, or you can sell them. So this is apitherapy, which is in practice since 300 years in China. So because in bee venom, when they sting, there is a protein called melittin. It is very useful for treating many diseases like multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis. So melittin is anti-cancerous also. Very recently, the study is done for aggressive breast cancers. So this is how the bee pollen will be collected by the bees in their pollen baskets. You can see a lot of hairs on the bee surface, body surface. They have 3 million hairs, and they beat their wings 230 times a second. So that's why the whole body will be electrostatic, and when they sit on the flower or enter the flower, the pollen will be all over their body because it will attract. So, when it comes to solitary bees, you have seen the blue-banded bee, and this is from my garden. And this is a carpenter bee. Again, this is from my garden. And this is a small carpenter bee. You can see it looks like a jewel. And you can see two compound eyes and the middle three eyes. So it's small carpenter bees, and carpenter bees are, borers. They make use of dead trees and dead twigs and reeds of Ipomia. They make their temporary nests. For them, we have created bee hotels, and we have been giving to schools now, so that these kind of bee species can live. So there are certain solitary bees which are expert, and they have skills in buzz pollination. Like in tomato and chilies, they require different pollination. Even social bees cannot do that kind of pollination. So for buzz pollination, they have to cling on the flower and vibrate. The whole flower will be in vibration. Only then the potent pollen will be spread out. So only the solitary bees like the blue-banded bee and carpenter bees can do it. So again, we have another bee. It's called the leaf cutter bees. So if you have, as a terrace gardener, if you have seen this kind of, leaves, so you don't have to worry. It is not uh, always these caterpillars. So the leaf cutter bees will collect these kind of uh, you know, cuts of leaves, and they make their nest like this. So they have a special way of collecting pollen uh, you know, under their abdomen. So these are the ground nesting bees. So they go inside, they form cocoons under the ground. So tilling is a problem. Even in the agricultural space also, constant tilling will destroy the habitat for the bees, and they contribute the biology of the soil also. So we are taking away biology of the soil, and these are all the species which will bring back biology in the soil. So this is how the mating happens, and this is how they communicate when they go to the flower and they come back to the hive with the reference of the sun. They do the waggle dance. So the number of waggles, time taken for the waggles will be the distance, and if you can see, they are turning in a particular way with reference to the sun. That is showing the direction. So this is waggle dance. So that is how they uh, recognize a new food source, come back. They even give their fellow worker bees some taste of whatever they have got, and also they dance like this so that they can communicate their other worker bees to go to the same place to collect more food for the hive. So, so this is the rescues I have done. This is in a compost making pot under the lid. This Apis big colony. So this is in HSR layout. And again, Fraser Town. This is near Turali Forest, uh, under the empty pot, plant pot. And this is in a shoe box. And this is in an attic in Basveshwar Nagar. This is in the sump tower. So if you see, these Saranas are trying to coexist with us, or they are finding really difficult to find nesting sites for themselves. So what we do is, when I go for these kind of rescues, I'll tell them to keep them, and they can learn beekeeping and they can become urban beekeepers. Few I have been successful to convince them, but few are so worried and so concerned and so fearful about the bees. They will say that, first you take them away. So I will have to take them back to my farm and keep them. This is in the tool room in the first floor. So you can keep the bee boxes like this at the compound. If your lawn is bigger, you can keep multiple bee boxes like this. And even the stingless bees also, we have a different box for stingless bees. So they don't make honeycombs or frames. They live like this and they create pods. And the pods are created by plant resins they collect. So it's called meliponiculture. So not much of the management is there, like as you compare with Apis cerana. You will have to keep them and maintain little bit of land around you because they can go only up to 200 meters away. And it is like a completely, no management almost. So for terrace gardeners and the people who want to start beekeeping, meliponiculture is a very good way. There will not be much of interaction between you and the bees, but there will be, pollination happening and you have your own bees at your home. So if you can see here, you cannot recognize that there is a chance of a bee colony living anywhere here. But if you look closer, there is a bee colony in the pipe. So, so it's just a pipe which is drawing the cable underground. So there they have done asphalting on the top, and between the asphalting and inside the cavity, there is a colony of stingless bees. So we are doing all sorts of training program. So you can come and participate practical training program also. So in one of the school we have done this. How pollinators are so helpful for us uh, for nature, for even for whatever we are wearing, whatever the medicine is coming, whatever the fruits, food, and even the you know our cattle's they also require nutrition, and it comes from pollination and everything, all the wildlife. So we have done this in one of the school in Bangalore North. So we do this every month, once in every month. We do this training program, and a lot of people are learning and getting into beekeeping. And even the children. Now, when this is my son, only 5 year old, and he's getting into beekeeping now. So they are the ones we will have to worry, and they are the ones what we are leaving them also, because we need to make sure that whatever we are doing, we we have to leave good things for the next generation. And this is how an apiary will look. If you start beekeeping, if you have a farm, you can do beekeeping also. A lot of wild plants and shade trees. So this is how the bee farm should look. So I can send you the list of plants which you can grow around for helping pollinators, especially bees. When you plant something, not only bees, even butterflies, even moths, all insects will be benefited. So thank you so much. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer. If you want something to be repeated also, please let me know about the management or the life cycle or anything.
Okay. I have a few questions. One question is, you had said that they prefer pongamia and other than compared to hibiscus and so on. Would that be because pongamia is available in more bunches, or is it the production of each flower itself?
Well, even the plants are opportunists in a way.
That's
Because,
why.
sorry.
I would just request the viewers to please keep yourself muted unless you are asked to ask a question, so that we can hear what answer the speaker is saying. Thank you. Yes, Apoorva, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
so I have seen some plants, especially the citrus plants, and there is a caffeine in the nectar. So even plants are opportunists, and they want to get themselves pollinated before everyone, all other species. So when bees visit the citrus flowers, they get excited because of the caffeine presence in the nectar. So they tend to visit again and again. So in this way, the pollination will be done by first priority and more efficiently, because more visits will give them more efficient pollination. Like that, if there is a good load of nectar available in the flowers, then the bees will be able to
Just a minute, I think because just a minute, I think this is a small technical issue. We'll just wait for a minute.
yeah.
Yes. So next question. Just a minute. What should people do if the rock bees are trying to build a hive in their high-rise apartment?
See, this particular issue, this is going to repeat every year. This is going to repeat every year until and unless Bangalore is having greenery and pongamia trees, eucalyptus trees. This is going to repeat. So the first thing to know about the rock bees is that they are migratory in nature and they are not going to stay there forever. So they are going to leave within 3 months. Mostly, 70% of the colonies will leave within 3 months. So don't make sudden movements. There are some set of uh, you know uh, behavior or altered behavior you will have to practice when there is a rock bees in your balcony. And when they leave, after after you tolerating them for 3 months, when they leave, you will have to be vigilant for the next season. You will have to block your balconies the next season. You cannot be careless between February to April. That is the time when a lot of bees will uh, swarm into Bangalore, because that is when all the trees will be in blossom, especially Pongamia will be in blossom between March to April. So that is when you will have to be so vigilant and spread the word to your society also, that you will have to block your balconies. So blocking will not happen like a complete screening. So you will have to put something, swinging to the wind to the ceiling, because they prefer number one, higher altitude, number two, stable and firm structure. So balconies will make them very ideal, because they can have partial shade, partial sun, and it is not swinging to the wind. So that is why you will have to stick something so that it will be swinging to the wind, so that bees will not finalize that space as a nesting site. If they are nesting in your same apartment building in some beams and other sort of projections, just leave them, let them complete their life cycle and let them go. Because this is going to repeat, we will have to be very uh, act in a humane way because we are losing them. Once you kill them, uh, the same bees will go and migrate to our food crops also, which will be pollinated by the same bees. So it is not only for us. We will never know how indirectly and indirectly they are important for everything, all the balances.
Yes, thank you. Then another question is, does honey production vary in each season? The question is
Yes,
from Kichu Saji.
yes. Honey production will vary with each season and also places. For example, March to May, if you keep the same colony in the place like Western Ghats, you can harvest a lot of honey. If the same colony is kept in a different place in say in plains, in Raichur or some place like that, so the temperature will soar up to 43 to 45 degrees Celsius, and they will not be able to collect any nectar because there will be nothing. Even the weed plants will be dried up, and there will be no crops also. So the places will define the quantity of honey they can make, and with the season also. In Bangalore, if you can see now, this is the season for harvesting honey. March, April, May. Only in some places people are getting honey because the presence of mature trees are a primary requirement for making honey.
And how long does the bee stay in the hive in Apis dorsata? Question from Keshav.
Apis dorsata, as I told you, 3 months, 70% of the colonies in Bangalore, they are staying up to 3 months. And another 20% may stay up to 6 to 7 months. And the last 10%, the exceptional ones, they may stay for 1 year also. So, but the thing is, if you wait for 3 months, many colonies will leave from your apartment complexes. After that, you can take a call on relocation or something. But relocation is not also a very sustainable solution because these relocators, they will catch the whole hive or a swarm, and they will go to the next cross or the next block. They are releasing it, and again the bees will go to nearby building, and technically you are paying money to shift your problem to somebody else, probably your neighbor. So that is what it is happening in Bangalore.
And along with this question, there's also another question. They say, do they reuse the hive? Apis dorsata is the question that came with that.
They don't reuse the hive. So once they leave, they will not come to the same home. Uh, Only when it is immediate swarm which is flying around, they may come, but very not so possible to use another hive. So they will, after they leave, immediately this wax moth activity will start. Wax moths are present everywhere on Earth, except Arctic circles, I think. So they will come immediately and they will start their activity, and it makes other bees to not to choose that kind of nesting habitat.
Uh, from please share the list of plants, trees that help their survival by Supriya.
Yeah. So I will tell you: mustard, sunflower, sesame, Niger, coriander, ajwain. So these are all the plants where you can grow in your terraces and balconies also. So and creeper like Tanbargia and uh, Antigonon leptopus, the coral vine, which grows beautifully and looks beautiful also. These are all the creepers where they can supplement a lot of nectar both to bees and also birds. So, if you have space, you can make arrangement of, something should be there for the pollinators. If you have a farm, if you have a like a farm kind of space, you can plant 100 by 100 for sunflower, 100 by 100 to Niger, something like that. So something should be available for the bees. So these creepers are a great source of nectar, and Antigonan and Tanburgia. So in my place also I have planted a lot of visits. I can see even the dices, all the dicey species, Tridax dicey, which grows like a weed, and also sessile joyweed, which grows like a weed. Right now, they are sourcing a lot of nectar and both nectar and pollen from sessile joyweed. In Kannada, we call it as ongoni soppu.
Another question is, some of the bee attack incidents get a lot of negative press. What actions provoke such attacks? How can one create awareness in the community to coexist along with bees? This question is from Rohit.
Yeah, see, the rock bees in villages and in the wild space, and the rock bees in the urban space, the same rock bee hive, they behave differently. So once they come to the urban space, they get to see a lot of colors which they cannot see in the wild. They get to see a lot of vibrations. They get to sense a lot of vibrations. They can't hear like us. They don't have the any ability to hear, but they can sense vibrations, and they can get to sense a lot of smell also. The smell of masala, smell of perfume, body spray, even the pets. You wearing the rings, which will react to your sweat, and it will create another smell. So they get to smell so many things, and they finalize that these things are not threatening. You get to hear bee attacks only in villages when there is a procession going, especially in the graveyard. They will burn agarbatti, then the bees will attack. They will smoke bidi under the hive, then they will attack. Because in the graveyard, they will not be seeing much of the procession. But if there is a person who is so popular and there is a big procession, they will see a lot of people and lot of smell and lot of movement. And even in the hills and wide, in the forests also, they will be seeing only few things. Suddenly, if a lot of people have come under the tree with a different smell, different appearance, they will attack. So, for a bee attack, what we will have to do? We practice drills in so many IT campuses, right? For fire. So we in schools and in apartments also, we should know what to do when bee attacks. So lie down and don't move. If possible, cover your head. So bees will not attack you. So until and unless you are in a movement, they will attack you. So that is number one. And what to do when there is a lot of stings taken by the bees? What to do? So we are afraid of the bees and snakes, but we don't keep anything like epinephrine in our first aid kit in any place.
Could you repeat that, sir?
Epinephrine is a strong antihistamine. So EpiPen is not available in India. I don't know for what reason. It works both for bees and snakes. It is a very strong antihistamine. Anaphylaxis shock, whatever we get from the bee attack, it can be controlled and managed with the EpiPen. Epinephrine is the proper drug we look for. So we need to keep those things in very close, especially in the first aid kit or some refrigerator, so that we can maintain it also. So the takeaway is that bees will not attack just like that. There will be some provocation by someone. So if you train your children, I mean, tell your children not to go there and keep a board also that this is there is a hive very nearby, don't play in that area. Yes, children will not listen. I know that from my home. I have that experience. But uh, we cannot give only this reason and keep killing the bees. And we are killing a lot of bees. Let me tell you, in a very vague survey I have done, we are killing more than 300 bee colonies every day in the name of fear because we are all family and we have concerns. I know, but there is a way to coexist and we need to practice it. At least practice that small hacks where you can avoid them in the balcony at least for the first phase, and then we will keep on learning.
Thank you. Next question is, which honeybee constructs the hive in coconut tree cavity, sir? I have a photograph of the beehive by Harsha.
Serrana. Apis serrana constructs in the cavities. Serranas are called cavity nesting bees. They are the ones which have built in the cavity of coconut.
And another question is, I'm curious, do you handle the domesticated bees without gear too? Have you got stung? What do you do if you get stung?
So it's a occupational hazard for any beekeeper to getting stung. So yesterday also I have taken stings, but there is no swelling now because I'm used to taking stings. Only when they sting here under my eye, I can see swelling. Otherwise, to my hands, my antibodies know what to do when there is a bee venom protein gets in. So now stinging is not a worry at all for a beekeeper, and for an urban beekeeper, for a beginner, you can wear a bee veil, which will be covering your head, and we have gloves also. So you don't have to worry. And serranas, they don't chase like rock bees. Rock bees can chase when they get agitated, but serranas don't chase. You just get away from the hive only for 3 to 4 feet away. They will be back to their hive, and slowly you get a cloth, cover it. Slowly you adjust all the frames and and keep the top cover back. Nothing will happen. And more you learn to recognize their temperament. So each colony is having different temperament. It is not generalized way. So one colony will be really having a bad temperament. Another colony, even they fall also, they will not sting you. So you need to know about all the colonies. You can number it or you can name them also. So it is up to you. So it is fun, the way they buzz around when they are peacefully foraging nectar and pollen. You just sit next to the beehive and you can hear the buzz. If uh, the vehicle sound is not around, you can hear the buzz. And you can, first the nectar flow when it starts, when you open the top cover, you can you can smell the aroma of any plant which is in blossom. You can compare also. Sessile joyweed will give you a sour kind of aroma, and eucalyptus will give you pungent aroma. So, and the first honey harvest you do, and the first division when new queen emerges. So all these things are really, it gives you mindfulness. That's what I can say.
I almost kind of transported to
Yeah.
being in front of a hive, the way you were describing and the sense, all the senses that you were talking about using. Amazing. Shows your passion, sir. And sorry. Okay, I'll go to another question and come back. So now you said that you had already got used to the stings. So what should somebody, a lay person like me or somebody else who's not really working with the bees, but if a bee comes and stings us, what should we do?
So first thing is to take the stings away. I mean, when the bees sting you, that is a suicide attack. So the bee will die because the stinger will have the ridges. It cannot come out from the skin. So the the venom sac will still be alive, and it will be moving like this. Whatever venom will be stored in the venom sac, it will still be injecting inside. So what you have to do is immediately take out the sting, like scratching by your fingernails, not plucking it. When you're plucking it, you are injecting
Skin.
venom back to your skin. So you should be scratching it so that the stinger will be like this. So it will come out like this. Okay, so that is number one. And after that, you will have to wash your hands. And if onion is available, the juicy onion, fresh juicy onion, you rub it. Nothing will happen. Even the swelling will come down. So only people who are allergic to bee venom. There are people who are allergic to bee venom. You will notice it very soon. You will get rashes all over your body sometimes, or you will feel feverish, and your lymph node will react. So only I have not seen much of the people. Only few people I have seen showing these kind of allergic reactions. So only then you will have to go for antihistamine and go to the doctor. Otherwise, uh, don't do at all, because uh, anyway, bee venom is medicinal. Okay, so you are getting free medicine when you are getting stuck, but it should not be more also. So up to in the division season, I have taken 25 to 35 stings per day, uh, constantly every day, for 3 months. So I'm pretty much alive and healthy also. So not to worry. But it should not grow beyond that also. So you don't have to worry. And if there is a shooting pain or something is happening, then you in homeopathy that Apis mellifica is available. You can apply that, and nothing much. Yeah.
Thank you. Another question. Could you please share a few tips to help their conservation that can be followed by common man? From Supriya.
Right. So I have written a blog about it, for any people who are um, experiencing bee-human conflict in their balconies or living area, or any place. For especially with the rock bees. With the rock bees, we will not be able to rescue them or relocate them. So that is why we will have to wait. Waiting is something where we will have to talk to people, and that is where I have been trying to get people who can talk about it. What I do is, when people call, they will they will start to ask for immediate results and immediate solution by relocation. So I will start to talk about what are these bees, why they are coming to Bangalore, and how dangerous they are not also. Because people have assumptions that these bees will definitely going to attack and do something, but it is not like that. So when I talk about this and explain, then they will get it. Then they will get it, and they will wait. So if you make people to wait for 3 months, that itself is saving 70% of the colonies in Bangalore. So that patience, how do you give that patience, is by providing them all the information about the bees. And I should not be doing it, but I am doing it because it's uh, it's not good to humanize everything. But to save the bees, I am humanizing it, because we also have family and they also have family, and we have children, they also have children, they raise their children. And when there is a trouble, they sacrifice themselves for the next generation. So when we provide all these kind of information, which should be emotional and poetic also, it will save the bees. So now read more about it and share knowledge. More you share knowledge, more conservation can happen.
There's another question from Kichu Saji. Any suggestions for a small bee farm in rubber plantation?
Yeah, rubber plantation is a great nectar giver, especially now from January to March is the season for rubber secretion. It's called extra floral secretion. It's not a nectar. It's an extra floral secretion when the new leaves arrive after the fall, after the leaves falling, the new leaves when it grows, the new glands will open up and the bees will collect not a lot of extra floral secretion and they make honey out of it. Technically, it is honey. It is not that it is not honey. It is honey and you can plan in a very big way also if you can have more number of colonies and in one place you can have up to 25 to 30 bee colonies, not beyond that. And you need to check for the swarming tendency because once they grow they will develop new queen cells and they will start to divide themselves. So there you will have to be vigilant and control the swarms also. Oh yes, you can plan in a very good way in rubber plantation, but it is very shallow. Only between February and March or January to March you can plan everything, and after that you need to have a place for the bees so that they can survive. Also. It is not only honey harvesting everything from them, but you will have to keep them healthy for the rest of the season, rest of the year. So there you will have to keep it in coconut plantations kind of places where they can get pollen throughout the year and maintain the colony.
One more last question is there. For dogs going through bee stings, the doctor usually suggests Avil for swelling and allergy, and it helps. Can humans also use this?
Yes, yes, yes. Allegra and Avil, it is antihistamine. It helps, but if you have allergy, you take it. Otherwise, don't take it because only few people I have seen having allergies. But it is not for everyone. You don't unnecessarily you don't have to take antihistamine. You just wait. The first time the swelling will be a lot. If you want to become urban beekeeper, first time when you take stings, the swelling will be a lot. Second time it subsides. Third time, then you will be programmed how to deal with this. So that's not a problem. Anyway, we provide all the protective gear and clothing also, so you don't have to worry.
One last question. How is it decided which egg will turn into which type of bee in the hive?
Okay. So um, the queen is capable of laying two types of eggs. One is a haploid and another is a diploid. So with a diploid egg, either the the egg, the larva can become a regular worker bee or the queen. So it will be decided by the workers. But uh, the regular worker bee, which is supposed to become only worker, when that cell is selected by the worker bees, either because it is in a corners and it is in a very good health at the right time of development, they choose and they feed a lot of royal jelly and they broaden the cell and they make the cell bigger also. That is when the regular larva, which is supposed to become worker, when it is fed with lot of royal jelly, it will become queen. So it is all controlled by workers. And the haploid will become drone. And this control is with the queen. The control of laying either the haploid or diploid is with the queen. but it will be controlled by the workers.
The diet given.
Yeah, the egg laying pattern, egg laying intensity and frequency will be controlled by the workers. She has that control of either giving this egg or that egg, but the queen will be controlled by the workers.
Thank you. Any other questions? I think we're done with all the questions. Thank you so much, Apoorva, for being here with us and giving us such an interesting talk. I think all of us will agree that we learned many things, even though we might know a few things, many other things we learned in today's session. And thank you for so patiently answering all our questions. We've gone way beyond our time, and I'm sure we want to hear more. So thank you so much for this wonderful talk, and thank you for taking your time and being here. And before we shut off, I would like to remind the viewers, I think there was another question asking where the recording will be available. The recordings of these talks will be available after a few days on the Bangalore Butterfly Club channel if you want to view them. And in case any of your friends have missed them, you can ask them also to see it there, because this was definitely a talk to look at. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
please do join us for the next 2 days also. The same login details are applicable. The next 2 days also, we have 2 more talks going for this festival. Thank you. Thank you, Apoorva.
All right.